Hello, hello, hello. Ooh, let's see. Excellent. How are you doing, guys? How are you doing? How you doing? Such a pleasure to be here this evening for a short time, well, short according to me, where we're going to talk about 10xing your profits. Now, if you're an ambitious spiritual business owner or aspiring and ambitious spiritual business owner, this is the place for you. Okay, let's see, who is this for? Who is this for? To give even more specific detail around this. You're probably already in your own business. Okay, to make this most relevant to you, you're already in your own business, but you're not making the money that you desire to make despite daily effort. I speak to lots of business owners, kinda, who aren't actually taking daily action. This will be helpful, although the first thing you want to start doing is taking daily action, right? But but whichever way, you are someone who is working very hard but not quite getting the results that you expect from the effort you're putting in. You are an action taker. You're not a wisher. You're not a hoper. You're not a dreamer. You're not a plan forever and never actually make a starter. Basically, hello, Kathy, how you doing, my love? You are meant for and capable of something more than you have experienced to date. You know you're powerful. You know you're here to make a dent on this planet. You are here to change lives and make a difference. This is something you know to the core of your being. And you choose to create a heck of a lot of wealth whilst doing so, okay? However, life hasn't always been kind to you. It hasn't. Let's be honest about it. It hasn't been kind to you. You've overcome many, many things. And a part of you has really felt pushed around, betrayed by the people in your life and the events of your life. But you're done with that sad story. You've always been willing to do whatever it takes to overcome, and now you're even more fully committed to finding your way to a fulfilled, wealthy life with a highly profitable business. You know it's on you to get over the inner nonsense and the noise and all of that stuff that sometimes clouds your judgment. And though you're more comfortable with working just harder and harder and harder and harder and harder and harder and harder to get what you want, you're finally beginning to realize that it's not working. That it's just not enough just to do the practical stuff. The practical stuff needs to be done. We know this, right? But you're starting to realize that it's not enough alone. There must be some kind of blind spot going on because you're still not getting where you would like to go, ultimately. But then you also know that it's not enough just to fast and pray and affirm and, heal forever, okay? Because doing that alone isn't working either, okay? You're ready to master yourself. You're ready to look into the deep, dark places and heal whatever is necessary to be healed so that you can create the business that you want as well as the life that you want, okay? The free, fulfilled, financially abundant, love-drenched life. That is the deliberate millionaire life. You want that. This is the thing, you're not looking for a savior because you are generally the savior for everybody else, let's be honest, okay? You also know that you're pretty strong. However, you're starting to realize that there are these blind spots that you just can't seem to see around or see through, and sometimes you don't even know that they're there. All you know is that you're not getting the result that you want, because you do want prosperity in every area of your life. You're not one of those people that is content with just getting by. That isn't who you are. You are ambitious. At times you felt guilty about this ambitiousness inside of you. Is that even a word? Because people have given you the impression that it's greedy or selfish to want as much as you do. But you're kind of done with believing what everybody else thinks. You're ready really to say yes to all that you desire within you. You're done with settling for less. And you're willing to get rid of anyone that gets in your way, because you finally realize that the only way you can really be of service to the people you are called to, or even to anyone, is when you've mastered your inner world and put clear boundaries in place against the energy vampires in your life. You're done with wasting your life trying to be all things to all people, okay? You're done with using all your energy to give to everyone else except yourself and your own vision. Well, at least you say you're done. There's a part of you that you just can't seem to help yourself. Let's be honest, okay? But you're ready now to be who you are actually meant to be, because there's a hunger inside of you to come alive, to be fully self-expressed. And there might be some kind of a transitional period between who you've been and who you are, but you're willing to go through it. You're willing to hold your ground because you're done with pushing and trying and still not quite getting where you would like to go. You've made some money, but you know there's so much more. You're ready to thrive, to prosper whilst living in your purpose, okay? You want more for yourself. You want more for your loved ones, even the annoying ones. You know you're capable of more, and you're certainly done with looking for magic bullets. You're truly ready to do what it takes until it takes. This is your year. You committed to yourself that this 2024, you would not leave this year without things changing for you, okay? And yes, because of the things that you've been through, there's kind of a hardness, an edge to you that's been brought on by fighting so many battles. But beneath the anger, beneath the frustration, beneath that tough exterior, there is a softness. A softness that you don't always show because it makes you feel too vulnerable. And you've learned that being too vulnerable leads to people hurting you. But part of the healing, I will say here, is that you learn to trust again. Okay? It doesn't mean you trust every single person on the planet, of course not. It doesn't mean you trust even people that have obviously hurt you before. But sometimes your need to shut everything down and immediately think people are out to get you and out to hurt you, it's blocking you even from the good things that you would like to experience in your life. And so you need to heal from that. But I understand where it comes from. That vulnerability, you need to find a safe space where you can be yourself, you can be seen, and still be cared for. Okay? It will take courage for you to let that vulnerable part of you out, because as I say, you've been hurt many times. But this is the thing, you want to step into a bigger part of your life. You want to step into the hugeness of the life that you know you're meant for. So there's going to be need to be yourself completely. Okay? You can't keep putting this facade on and expect to step into a greater experience of life. To get to the point where you are courageous enough to be all of you, regardless of what people think of you, knowing that you and the divine are one. You and the divine are so connected that it doesn't matter so much what other people have to say or think or feel about you. You don't even care as much as you do now. You can transition to that place where you are fully yourself. Not just saying, oh, I don't care what people think about me, when really deep down inside you kind of do, but actually getting to the place where it's like water off a duck's back. And it can get there as you deepen that connection to the divine. Okay? Ultimately, you're ready to embrace all of you. The hard, the soft, the dark, the light, the feminine, the masculine, the action taker, the playful, childlike side, all of you. You finally start to see, or that person, you're finally starting to see that maybe that softness that you've been trying to shield is actually power. It's not weakness. It's a huge part of your strength. Okay? So if what I've said so far resonates, you're in the right place. Keep listening. Keep listening, my loves. Be very present. Be here right now. Okay, I'm Rosemary Nonny Knight, a weird blend of African and English. I used to dabble at business myself. I was a pharmacist, so there was a part of me that felt like, oh, well, at least pharmacy is safe. But it wasn't, it was something that was chosen for me. It was a career chosen for me by my parents that I just went along with because at that point in my life, I didn't trust me. I didn't trust that I had what it took to hold my ground for what I wanted. I trusted everybody else's opinion other than mine, but it led to me feeling quite dissatisfied with my life, feeling, getting to the point where I actually went bankrupt because I was saying yes when I should have been saying no. Basically, I had no boundaries, really. I had no boundaries. So I got myself into quite a messy situation and then got quite depressed because I felt like such a failure. And after 4 years of this, thankfully, in that 4-year period, I did give birth to my amazing daughters. That, as well as the divine, finally got my attention. I finally realized, well, you know what? I'm at the bottom. If I want more, this is the perfect time to go get it, right? Okay? And then I woke up. I realized I have to change things. I've known the divine forever. And I'll say this to you, spiritual people, and if you listen to me before, I say it all the time. But just knowing that the divine loves you or being spiritual doesn't give you some kind of free pass. You still have to choose to live a big, expansive, amazing life. It's a choice you make. It doesn't just happen. The divine isn't going to just drop miracles on your head because you are the miracle. You are the magic. You waking up and realizing I have the power within me to create whatever I desire, and then choosing what you desire rather than doing this kind of passive. And most of us have been conditioned to believe to act in this way, but this whole passive waiting for, if the divine wants me to have something, then he'll give it to me, or the universe will pass it to me, or I'll manifest it with no plan whatsoever on exactly what practical step you're going to take. It's just this, I'll manifest it. Or if I just pray and meditate long enough, then the blessings will come. No, you actually have to make a choice. You actually have to decide, this is what I want, and then really stand your ground for it. And I had to do that. I finally got to the point where I realized that yes, I have all these dreams and ideas and wishes and hopes and all of that I want to make happen. But guess what? It will never happen. No matter how loved I am, and I was loved, I am loved, basically, we're all loved. No matter how loved you are, until you finally make the decision that you are going to create your dreams rather than just talk or wish or hope or dream about them, they will remain just dreams and hopes and wishes. So I had to wake up. I got to the point where I realized it's on me. I can bury my head in the sand. I can feel depressed all I like forever, And I know I was in deep depression at that point for 4 years, but I still had to finally realize it's on me. I can feel depressed if I want to. I can also go after my desires if I want to. The choice will always be mine. But I am powerful enough to make a choice, okay? And I had to get to that point. And as I say, it was rock bottom for me that did it for me. Although sometimes what you think is rock bottom, you can go lower. Basically, my hope, my desire is to support as many of you, as many ambitious spiritual people, to not need to hit rock bottom if you can help it. I know sometimes for whatever reason, we human beings, we have this desire to hit the bottom before we do anything about it. Hopefully you won't be one of those, or maybe you are ready now for change. Maybe you are that person that is just done with especially if you've been in business for a while and you're still only making $500 to $2,000 a month. When you started the business with great hopes of 6 figures, maybe even 7 or 8, and yet you somehow can't even seem to get past the first 1,000. Frankly, the first 1,000 a month. And I know how frustrating that can be, but I also know what causes it. When I'm working with clients, I can see what they can't see. Okay, because sometimes we spiritual people, we get all kinds of things mixed up. Okay? And that can get in the way of us moving forward. In fact, sometimes being spiritual it's supposed to be a help because we know that we're connected with the divine and we know all of that stuff and we're powerful and we create our own reality, and we have the law of attraction and all of that. We know all of this stuff. We can pray, we can fast, we can tithe, we know this stuff. And yet, it almost feels like spiritual people find it harder to prosper than people who do not identify as spiritual. And I kind of want to see that ended. I want to see spiritual people actually learning to use the power that is available to everyone, spiritual or not. It's just some people who do not call themselves spiritual have learned how to harness that power even more than people who do call themselves spiritual. And it's time for us to wake up as ambitious spiritual people and learn how to wield the divine power within us to create the life that we want. It's absolutely possible. Anyway, I had to learn this, so I'm teaching you now. Okay, I'm teaching you now. So I went through that whole period, a whole thing myself, and so here I am. And now it's your turn. It's your turn. Let's just get straight into this thing because yes, I have another call after this. So I know I can't be here forever, and I have a tendency of talking a lot. Listen, let's just get straight into this. It's for business growth. I still remember the time the divine said to me, business growth is supposed to be simple, easy, swift. And now if the divine had been a physical person right in front of me when he said this to me, or they, I'm trying to use the pronoun they so that we keep it gender neutral, and they said this to me, I would have slapped them straight upside the head because it didn't feel easy, simple, or swift to me. It felt like a hard, horrible slog. So for the divine to start telling me that it was supposed to be easy, simple, and swift, literally it did annoy me greatly. And maybe when I say that to you, it might annoy you greatly if you've been trying. Hey, how you doing? It's whoever you are, the onester. Lovely that you're here. It annoyed me greatly, but then I realized that it's true though. building a business is not actually supposed to be that complicated, but we do have a tendency of making things complicated. All you need really is a target audience, as in decide who it is that you are serving. Yeah, decide who you're called to serve. Yeah. Number two, have a problem that you're solving for them. So I like to say one problem, one solution. What is it that you're solving for people? Or, what is the problem you're solving for people? And then decide to put it in a package, so I'm talking to people who like to transform people's lives. So you usually coach, healer, or some kind of course creator. Yeah, maybe some kind of service provider, whatever. But we are people that like to transform people's lives, right? With the knowledge, with the wisdom, with the experiences we've been through. We want to help other people get through it a heck of a lot faster. Yeah? And we'd like to get paid for it, right? Right? Okay. So you figure out a problem based on your information, based on the knowledge, the wisdom you have. Decide what problem you're going to solve with that wisdom and information that you have, okay? No, the skills that you have, that you're going to teach people. What is the problem that they are aware of having that you can help them solve? Decide what it is. Package that up. Number three, package it up. Put a good price on it. Yeah? And then number four, now that you got the offer, start telling people about it. Start telling people about how you're going to help them. Start talking about the problems that they're facing. Get out there. Social media, there's one platform. Any one platform has more than enough people probably to suit you. So find a platform that you actually enjoy using and find out where your people are on that platform. Start communicating. Start talking to them. Start talking about their pains. Start drawing them in. So communicate so that people are aware of you. The next thing after that is to capture them into your world. So go where they are and then invite them to where you are. So give them some kind of free gift, some kind of incentive to come find out where you are. So get them onto your mailing list, get them onto your social media presence. Yeah? Okay? So once you've done that, so you've captured them, next, you're just inviting them. Invite them via emails, invite them via get on the phone with some of them, and tell them, this is my offer. Can this help you? Listen to their issues, find out, is my offer going to help them? If it is, make the offer. Every day, be making the offer to somebody. Okay? Do this consistently. If you would do that consistently, your business will grow. No doubt about it. Your business will grow. That's it. Somebody said mental wellness. What do you mean when you say mental wellness? Is that the problem you're solving for people or what? I'm not sure what you mean when you say that. But anyway, consistently. Do this consistently. That's it. That's all you need to grow a business. Anyone can do this. Not everybody will, but we, ambitious spiritual people, we can do this. You don't need super techie skills. In fact, you can keep it the more people friendly it is, the better. Because we want to transform people's lives, it's not about hiding behind a computer somewhere. All this stuff that I've talked about here, you don't need super technical skills in order to do it, even if you're doing it online. If you can listen to me right now, you have enough technical skill to do everything that you need to do to get your message out there and start inviting clients to work with you. Absolutely you do. And yet we find reasons not to just do the thing. But anyway, I'm talking to people who have at least started something, right? If we're 10xing your profits, at least you have something. Now, if you're listening, you haven't quite started yet, that's fine. I still help people like that, but maybe today's class is not specifically for you. But you can still listen in, so you don't make the same mistakes once you get to this point, right? Okay, so number one mistake that people make. So I've told you how simple it is to whatever. And I know if you've never done it before, there's part of you thinking, that doesn't sound simple. Once you've done it the first time around, you've built out a business, it's not actually complicated. It's really not. It really isn't. It's just what's going on here in your head that makes it seem more complicated than it is. Okay? As with anything, the first time you do it, there might be a steep learning curve. But once you've done it, you realize, oh, I don't even know why I found that difficult. Now it's simple. Because that's the same with anything. Yeah? Number one mistake people make that keeps the whole thing feeling like something nobody can ever get to, even though everybody can, okay, is the lack of focus. Follow one course until successful. Somebody wise somewhere out there broke down focus into that focus. It means follow one course until successful, right? What people tend to do is, instead of doing that, what they do is try and build more than one business at a time. It's somewhere in the back of their brain, they're thinking that if I try multiple income streams, that at least one of them will work. actually what ends up happening is that none of them really work that well. What you do is try and spread yourself out to think you've not built one business, but somehow you think you're going to build 3, okay, or 2, or 10, or whatever, because you think that if I just, try as many different and I just see which one works. But the problem is you're not giving anything enough attention, so none of them work. So it feels like you're working very, very hard, but actually what you're doing is reinforcing the fact that you're afraid that things will not work for you. So it is fear that is driving you, not wisdom, okay? And if you focus on fear, guess what you get? More things to be afraid of, which is in the form of businesses not working, money draining, all the things that you were afraid of come to pass because simply you never focused on anything long enough for it to work. And then not only that, then you start to feel regretful that you've wasted all this time and it's still not working, which is another thing. You start concentrating on regret. You feel ashamed that it's not working and you're not where you thought you should be by now. And all of that just clouds your focus. And it makes you start taking stupid actions instead of just focus, follow one course until successful. So if you're that person who's trying to sell 20 million things, stop it. You are better off really, focusing in on one thing. Even, one product you could even do, really. You need, especially as a service provider, one product, one service can take you to 6 figures. If you will focus on it and learn how to promote it and market and sell and get that stuff out there. But when you try to do 20 million things, you just don't have enough energy to focus on anything. And so you're just giving everything kind of half of yourself. And remember that underlying reason is fear. You get more reasons to be afraid. Mistake number 2. As I've already kind of started to say here, it's keeping things simple. One product, one platform, one ideal client until you reach a clearly defined financial target. It took me so long to learn this one. Because there's a tendency to react to what's happening in the physical reality. So you've done. So if you're wise, you would have learned the how to build a business. Okay, so you've learned. Maybe you've done a program or you've worked with a coach or whatever. You got the business built out. Instead of then because it didn't work in the 3 weeks you gave it, you think, oh, well, that's never going to work. Let's try something else. Then we're back to mistake 1 where you're trying 20 million things. Instead of just focus, one product, one platform. I would say if you've not made 6 figures yet, maybe even just maximum 2 products that so as in you could be something like a coaching program and maybe a group program, or a coaching program and a one-day intensive, or just a coaching program, or a healing program or a healing package. That alone, as I said earlier, is enough to get you to 6 figures. But you have a tendency to think that if you have different offerings, plus you're on all the platforms everywhere, and you are trying to serve all different kinds of people, then you will get there faster. When actually that is the very opposite of what will work. One product, one platform, one ideal client until you reach a clearly defined financial target. And most of the money that comes through from doing that must be reinvested to keep building the business. You cannot spend the babies. You need to spend the babies of the babies of the babies. So, as you make money, reinvest it in the business until you reach a clearly defined financial target before you start trying to spend the babies, before you start trying to diversify and do all the different kinds of things. Focus, my loves. Focus. If you can't explain your business in 1 to 2 simple sentences, then you're complicating things, okay? 80% of what you're doing is probably not adding anything to the mix, and you're probably spending 80% of your time on the 80% that is not doing anything. Basically, again, focus. Focus. Mistake number 3. Why is my slide gone up to 5? I don't know. All right, consistent, boring strategy. One thing, especially if you're building a purpose-aligned business as an ambitious spiritual person, there's a tendency to think that growing your business should be like So exciting all the time. Excitement all the time. You wake up in the morning, you're going to feel excited. You're going to feel, because you're living in your purpose now. So it should be excitement. No, honey. Actually, building a business should be fairly boring. As in, the strategy you follow, it's going to be boring. It's the people you work with that make it exciting, that make it enjoyable. Not the business itself. Should kind of be boring. The same stuff that you're doing on a daily, regular basis. How many times can I say this in different kinds of ways? Basically. Because I can hear that I'm really saying the same thing, but I'm trying to say it in as many different ways as possible so you get it. The actual strategy to grow your business should not be the most exciting thing in your business. If anything, it should be quite boring, so you stay consistent with it. Stay consistent with doing the same consistent things every day. In your brain, get communicate, capture, close. Every single day, communicate, capture, close. As in, get your message out there somehow with some kind of form of content or advertising. Capture people onto your mailing list every single day. Every single day, get people onto that mailing list. And every single day, make some kind of offer. Every single day. That should be it should be boring. So boring that you just do it in your sleep. Do it every single day. The exciting part is having clients. People come in different shapes and sizes. The things you're going to help them with will be different. But the actual growing of your business should not be that exciting. Okay? Allow it to be boring. Don't think just because it's a purpose-aligned business, it should be so exciting. No, honey. A lot of that you should be able to automate. It's the working with people that brings the joy. Okay? It's the changing of lives. It's the transforming people's lives. That's what brings the joy. Not the business strategy. If your business is a barrel of adventure and challenge and excitement all the time, the chances are you're doing something to sabotage yourself. Strategy isn't that exciting. It's fairly straightforward. You just do the things over and over again. Yeah, maybe the kind of content you create every day might be slightly, exciting. But after you've created a bucket of content, you might not even need to anymore. Frankly, you just recycle the stuff that you used last year or something. Ultimately, just adjust it slightly. But so as you see, the actual strategy shouldn't be that exciting. Working with people. The thing is that you might be that person that gets really bored, really impatient, really quickly. And so you keep breaking your business and starting again. Break this and start. I did this, guys. That's why I know. And there's some benefits to it. I've created like over 200 programs, which now I put into a library, which is part of my offering. Great. Did I have to do it? No. Am I glad I did it? Yes. Did I have to? No. Basically, no, I didn't. And the whole creating of it was fun, and it was also very emotionally up and down and up and down and up and down. And it didn't need to be that way. But I thought it did. If you can hear me now, your business growth doesn't have to be so exciting. Working with people is the part that you really love. Allow yourself to do it. Okay? Keep the actual business growth simple. Find a strategy and keep doing that consistently. Consistently follow one course until successful. Follow one course until successful, guys. Okay, number 4, I believe it is. What is your true priority? Because another reason why you don't follow one course until successful is you are more interested in being liked by everyone, not by being fulfilled or changing lives or being profitable. And most people will not admit this, but there's a big difference between people pleasing and people serving. Sometimes we, ambitious spiritual people, your codependent needs are being met, or you're trying to meet them through your business. But your business's function is not to make you feel worthy. You need to know you're worthy already. The function of your business is to make money. If it's not to make money, if that makes you uncomfortable, then you should really just do your stuff for free and forget about the fact that you're in business. But if you chose to be in business, I know we're there to transform lives. Absolutely we are. But you chose to be in business. The only reason why you chose to be in business was so that you could make money whilst doing what you love. And yet, a lot of spiritual people forget that this is why they chose to be in business and instead start chasing after people's approval. They want to be liked. So their desire to be liked is what determines their pricing. Their desire to be liked is what determines what they say or don't say. Their desire to be liked determines everything. And so then they wonder why they have lots of likes and maybe comments and shares. Sometimes you don't even have that, basically. And then, so you either have really lots of likes and you feel so good. Oh my God, everybody loves me. You're not making any money, but everybody loves you though. Oh, you're not even getting that. And instead of just seeing that likes, comments, shares mean nothing about how much money you're making, it really doesn't mean anything about how much money you're making. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes there can be a correlation. Mostly there isn't. The social media metrics in that way really are just benefits of these social media companies because they want people to stay on there. Ultimately, it's not for you. But yet, because of your need to be liked, you find yourself doing things just to be liked. You think it's building your business, it's not. Okay? There's no average time frame on anything. That's the one thing somebody just asked a question about. What's the average time frame to get to 5 to 20K? The one thing nobody can tell you, no matter how, whatever they are, nobody can tell you is how much time it's going to take. What I can tell you is that you will succeed. Now, when I'm working with clients, I like to say, if you will do what I ask you to do, by this time next year, you'll be making 6 figures. Because I know if you do what I ask you to do without question, without whatever, you just do it, you will be making the money by this time next year. But you're human. And I don't pretend to be a puppet master that can make you do things that you don't want to do. However, I know if you follow through on exactly what we've agreed on, you will be making 6 figures by this time next year. But I also very blatantly say, nobody can assure you of timing. Nobody can. What I can tell you for sure is that if you decide you're going to create a business that's making 5 to 20K a month, you can have a business. In fact, it is as sure as the sun rises in the east that you will succeed because you've decided that you will. Okay, so coming back to this, what if you are more concerned with what people think of you, that will get in the way of your business. The problem is I can almost feel like, but I'm supposed to care, aren't I? I'm supposed to make sure my customers, and customers are always right and all of that stuff. And you don't realize, because it's a fine line. But there's a difference between people pleasing and people serving. Someone serving people could be doing the same thing that someone's pleasing people would be doing, but the foundation on which they're doing it, the internal foundation, is very different. So the results you get will be very different. Okay? So, yeah. Are you people pleasing or are you people serving? Are you so afraid of failing in front of people and being laughed at or mocked that you're allowing it to control what you do or do not do in your business? You really need to be honest to see this. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you're blind to it. But hopefully as I bring this stuff to your attention, pay attention. Why am I doing this? How is this helping my business? Is it actually taking me towards the goal of making 5 to 20K a month? Or is it just getting me some more likes? Be wise. That's number 4, I believe. Number 5 is this building from the top down. I like to say to clients, particularly if you're not making 6 figures yet, start from the top down, as in create, as I've already said, create a maybe a healing package or a coaching package, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever, and price it really well. Price it higher than just doing $7, $5 products or something. And you see lots of spiritual people. So you really want to help everyone, but you don't have the funds to reach everyone, especially if you're trying to start with 5, 7, to whatever dollar amount. I'm not saying you can't build a business at all with such low dollar amounts, but it will take longer. One sale at $997, it's how many? At least 120 $7 products. One against 120. Now you may think that because it's $7 that people just throw money at you. If you've been doing this for any length of time, you know it's not true. You know it's not true. You know it's not true. Basically. So build your business from the top down, particularly if you're not making six figures yet. I'm not saying that forever you're stuck with only high prices, but I'm saying give yourself some kind of influx of money into your business. Give some money into your business so that you can reinvest that money and start reaching more people, okay? Think about that. Think about that. That was my question, package and pricing. Yeah, well, yeah. Let's see. Let me see. Yeah, okay. So hopefully that answered some of that. So build from the top down. Because if you get the pricing right, it just helps that you then have more money coming through. You can reinvest that money, reach more people, okay? Now, you may tell yourself that you don't want to be greedy, that you're called to serve the masses, and you might even add up all the work, the maths, and I've just said to you, ultimately, one person at $997 or $500 or $1,500 or whatever, as opposed to 100 or more at $7 or $5 or $20. Whether you realize it or not, it will be easier to get that one person than it will to get the 100 and whatever, particularly if you're just going and you haven't got the audience yet. And that's the thing. Most of y'all don't have the audience yet. So you're trying to sell these cheapy things. There's a thought inside of you that, oh, well, I have this social media people loving me and I have, 200 followers. And if they all bought something from me, they're not going to all buy something from you. I love you, honey, but they're not. Most of them just like you because, you were doing that whole people pleasing thing. So they were pleased to buy you, but it doesn't mean they're going to give you money. Social media, I'm not saying it's impossible to build just with social media audience. Yeah, of course you can try. And some people do it successfully. But for the most part, I know for me, most of my sales come from my email list. And that you need a smaller proportion of people on your email list than you do on social media to make the same amount of sales. So, but if you've not reached that six figures yet, you don't really have any metrics or anything to measure by. So you start getting disheartened by the wrong thing. And you don't realize that that's what's happening. You just look at the numbers and you're thinking, but there's all these people, why can't they give me money? You don't realize, and you don't see your blind spots because you just don't know that they're there. And the chances are you're holding on desperately to your money instead of getting help. Instead of getting help, you're trying desperately to hold on to your seed. Oh no, I don't want to lose anything. And then you spend it on stupid things, but when it comes to actually go and work with someone or something, no, they're going to scam me. And this is what I said at the beginning, your fear of trusting people. Sometimes it's wise, sometimes it's really getting in your way. Okay, so that's the number 5, I believe it was. Number 6, the whole instant gratification thing. I've kind of said this, but I'll say it again. Most of what you do to speed things up from a place of desperation, though you may not realize it's a place of desperation, it will make the whole thing take longer. So you think, oh, if I just, I don't know whatever you desire, whatever thing you do, maybe it's change the product that you're selling, or change this, or change the other, or throw lots of money at whatever, I don't know. Whatever it is that you decide that you're going to do from a place of desperation and fear, thinking that it's going to speed things up, you will find, if you do this long enough, that actually slowed everything down. Because you didn't come from a calm place. When you know the divine to be your source, really cultivate that knowing that the divine is your source. And sometimes that comes with going through crazy times and recognizing, you know what, it didn't kill you. Sometimes you can just make the decision now, for real. Not just something you're saying with your mouth. The divine is your source, your universe, whatever word you give your higher power. So you stop making choices from a place of desperation or trying to look good to other people because you want your business to work really quickly. And so you start doing stupid things and thinking that that's going to make your business work quickly, but all it does is slow you down. And it's only by looking back, you suddenly realize that everything you did from a place of desperation, thinking that you were speeding things up, it didn't do it. It didn't work. You had this need for instant gratification and all you got was nothing. You just made everything actually slow down because then either you have to backtrack and follow the strategy, the consistent, boring strategy that you threw out because you saw some magic bullet things that some guru was talking about over there, and so you got rid of your strategy and decided theirs must work better, basically. And it's like, come on, come on, come on. Stop pivoting too soon in your business. Stay the course with a strategy, a clear strategy, until it works. Focus on one course until successful. Daily get in front of more people with your content. Daily invite them to join your mailing list. Daily invite them to buy your offer. Stop rushing around, messing around, tweaking things that do not need to be tweaked. Stop reacting to the physical reality. Hold a deep vision inside of you. Yes, have a practical strategy. So if you need to work with a coach to get a strategy that is capable of creating a 6-figure business, then stick to the strategy. Follow the freaking coaching, okay? Don't then suddenly think, well, I know better. I'm going to go off and do my own thing. I'm only telling you this stuff because I did this stuff myself, okay? You pay out God knows how many thousands, at least I did, to be coached with somebody, and then you decide you know better anyway. And it's usually just fear that is making you think that. Sometimes you do need to follow your intuition, but mostly when you're operating from fear, all you're hearing is your fear and you don't know it. You don't know it. That again is why sometimes working with a coach, if you'd asked me this last year, I would have said, no, you don't need to. And I don't think everybody needs to. The truth, but sometimes I think if you've been trying something and it's just not working, wouldn't it be cheaper to just work with somebody? I had to get to that point, not just in my business life, but in other areas of my life. You finally get to the point where you realize, yes, I can do it on my own. I can. But I've tried and it's not working. So obviously I'm missing something. Wouldn't it be just cheaper if I just get some help, even if it's for a short period, so that I can at least see what I'm doing wrong? Because when you're in your craziness, you don't know. You just can't seem to see where the mistakes are coming from. Because you're so used to doing things your way. And then you ask people that have never done it before, how are they supposed to help you? How are they supposed to help you? I remember writing one of my first books about how to grow a business. And I was doing some research on what causes businesses to fail. And one of the top reasons was asking family and friends for help. As in asking them for advice on what to do in your business. When they've never done it. And then you're asking them, they're supposed to tell you what to do. Then they make you feel silly for what you are doing. You go and start doing some stupid employee something, and you're trying to be a business owner, but you're listening to employees tell you what to do, and you're taking their advice seriously. But anyway, we do these stupid things. I'm not coming from a place of judgment. I'm just telling you what the kind of stupid things I have done, and how I had to learn. I made my business take a heck of a lot longer to grow than it needed to because I didn't learn these lessons on time. It's not that people didn't tell me. Because I was one of those, I even paid lots out to a coach. And I could have been one of those random people shouting about, oh, I paid this much money to this coach and it didn't work for me. I could have been that person, but I've always refused to be that person. Because I've always taken full responsibility for my own business growth. Even if I pay somebody to help me, it's not on them to create my success. It's on me to take the coaching from them and do something with it. It's on me, okay? Same with you guys. So if you're one of those people that think, oh, coaches shouldn't charge this, just put that stuff to one side. We cannot afford to even think like victims at all. Not if you want to win, okay? So thankfully, I'm not that person. So I always knew to go back and listen. What did they try to tell me that I couldn't hear? And then you realize, oh yeah. And then you start doing it. Or you work with somebody else and then they finally say it. And you're finally ready to hear what all of them have been telling you. And you couldn't hear. Basically, that's just my experience. You know, there are times when somebody's telling you something, but you're not ready to hear it. And then somebody else tells you the exact same thing at the right moment. And then it's like, oh. That's what that person was trying to say. Anyway, this whole instant gratification thing, put it down, guys. When you're building a business, it's not the same as a job. You're not going to get paid every 2 weeks until you get your business to the point where it is that consistent. But to begin with, stop using the physical reality as the only measure of whether you're succeeding or not. And I know that can sound kind of crazy, but there are times when you actually need to really buckle down and stay the course until your strategy works. But you keep jumping around telling yourself, oh, I put something out today, then nobody bought it. That must mean I changed it to try this, try that. Burn yourself out, quit. And then, oh, I tried everything and it didn't work for me. It's a lie. You didn't try everything. You tried a few things and then you quit. Love you. But let's be honest with ourselves so that we can move forward. Anyway, I need to bring this to a close soon. Yeah. I've already started talking about this final mistake, which is the whole lone wolf craziness, okay? I know it sounds amazing. I self-made millionaire. I did it all on my own. Nobody does it on their own, okay? And the ones that do, it generally takes longer. It generally takes longer. And as I already said, if you've been trying to do this stuff on your own and it's not working, it'll be cheaper and faster to just actually work with somebody else so that they can see what you can't see because you are so in the middle of your craziness. And let's just be honest, most of us were trained to be employees. Most of us were trained to just do a little portion of building a business and then everybody else did all the other things. So you never really got a full concept of what it takes to actually build a whole business, okay? And so if you bring that mindset, it's like me, I was trained to be a pharmacist. If I bring that employee mentality to my business, and I did, the tendency is that it's going to fail or it's just going to take very long to grow because you finally really need to realize that it's not the same mentality, it's not the same mindset. You do need to change the way you work with money, the way you show up has to change. And some of that is from experience of being in business, and some of that is, again, just get help so that people can help you see. Just the same as when I went to become a pharmacist, it didn't even occur to me to try and do that on my own. Now, okay, yes. In some ways, I had no choice in the matter. In order for me to actually get a certificate, I had to go through university and such. But sometimes I think, you know what? For some of us, it would be helpful if someone just forced you to get to build a business, but not just the university type stuff. MBA is not necessarily going to make somebody holding an MBA is not necessarily, that doesn't necessarily assure you of an actual successful business because there's so much about being a business owner that cannot be taught. You actually have to be in it to become it, okay? But you can learn strategy. You can get from somebody else a clear strategy so that you can at least build out a business that is capable of making six figures. Because when I'm speaking with people on the phone, a lot of the spiritual people I speak to don't even have something that has even the slight chance of making six figures. But they're working very hard at it. But I'm thinking, yeah, but there's nothing here. There's literally nothing here. I don't know what you're trying to build here. Actually, just because you're throwing a few things on social media, that's not a business strategy. And yet, that's what people are doing and wondering why it's not working. Get help. But most people as well are doing this whole, oh no, they're all out to scam me. Oh, they charge too much. Okay. You carry on. I love you. I've tried this stuff. But I at least when it came to getting help, I was quite wise about it. I wasn't always wise about listening to the help, but I got the help because I knew what it took for me to become a pharmacist. So it was after I went bankrupt and everything, I realized I didn't bat an eyelid at having to pay God knows how many thousands to go to university and get training. Why am I thinking that I can just piece together this free here and free that and this little webinar over here and this Google search here and somehow I'll come up with a successful business? Really? So I got help. That's how I got to six figures within 18 months with the first business that I started after I got sensible, basically. So at least I didn't make that mistake, but you might be telling yourself some story about how, oh, it's too much, I can't do this, I can't. After you've spent years trying to do something, you'll finally realize, if I just invested that money ages ago, I could be in a completely different place. Well, even if you didn't do it ages ago, now is a good time to do it. Now is a good time to do it. Now is a good time to do it. If what you're doing isn't working, please admit it. I know you're capable. I know you're powerful, but get help. Okay? Now, I can help you. Yes? Oh, I have 2 minutes. But the only way that if you resonate with the stuff that I do here, come into my world. Come onto my mailing list. How you get onto my mailing list is that you get the Get Paid to Transform Lives book. In there is an actual business strategy. If you implement that in your business, you will have a business that is capable of making six figures. Now you can try to do that on your own. Absolutely you can. Or you can, when I make the invitation, come work with me in some capacity or the other to actually build this business out so that I can help you see your blind spots. Okay? But that's the only way you get to come and work with me, is get onto the mailing list so you hear about the other things that I do. So as I say, the Get Paid to Transform Lives book is in the link in my bio if you're on Instagram, or it is just message me the word biz, B-I-Z, and we will get either me or my daughter, who is my wonderful member of staff, or one of my members of staff, and she will send that out to you. Okay, so I'm going to bring this to a close because yes, I have a call that I need to get on right now. It's been a pleasure sharing this with you, and I really hope you listen in again and again and notice where your blind spots might be so you stop making the same mistakes over and over and again. Until the next time, go forth and prosper. You are worthy. You are worthy of the best. Please allow yourself to create it. Much amazing love. Bye.